welcome to Trick of the Week. In this one we're going to be looking at something I call the thumb and finger swing. Now when you're playing a swing rhythm, it's quite common to play the downbeats with a downward strum like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what makes it a swing rhythm are the ands that we put in between. Rather than them dividing up the beats equally like this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, we make the ands a little late. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, like a heartbeat. The downbeat's still in the same place. 1, 2, 3, 4, but the and is late. And different people will leave that beat a little bit later or not so late, depending on the tune and the style that they're playing or their own personal style. Now you maybe wouldn't put all of those upstrokes in, and a common one is to play the and after the 2 and the and after the 4, like this. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1. Now that's great if you're playing an up-tempo swing tune. But if you're playing something a little bit more laid back, maybe a ballad or a love song or something like that, then maybe you want something a little bit more subtle, and that's where this one comes in. What I'm going to do is flip this on its head. I'm going to play the main beats with an upstroke using my index finger, but I'm not doing a big strum. I'm actually using a little wrist movement and a little bit of my finger and the pad of my finger to strum upwards. And I'm really only catching 3 strings. You don't have to be that precise about it, but I'm not aiming for my G because my thumb's going to take care of that later. So the first thing to do is to try and get a nice gentle strum coming up on your highest, say, 3 strings. Now normally we'd feel that like a and because it's an upstroke, but that's our 1, 2, 3, 4. Where the thumb comes in is that's going to provide the and, that's going to provide the swing, but it's just going to play one note on our G string. So we're going to go like this. Of course, we don't want to do every single one, so if I just put them after 2 and 4, we get this. So let's try that with a couple of chords. I'm going to play G minor 7 and C7. A nice jazzy sounding change. And then maybe an F. And we'll do it again. An F. And then, right at the end, I put all of the thumb notes in, almost like a little fill to lead into the next part of a song. So I could just go, here comes the chorus, or here comes the next line of the song or the next section of the song, just as a bit of variation. So here's another variation we can do once you've got that, is you can actually move your thumb, and instead of playing the 4th string, you could move it onto the C string, the 3rd string, especially if there's something that's going to happen on that string. I wouldn't want to do it all the way through. I want to keep that nice bounciness of my high G. And of course this does work on a low G, but I still think this technique is particularly effective with a high G. I'm going to put something in now on that F chord. Instead of just playing F, because these chords are moving nicely, and then we get to the F, and it kind of just sits there on the F. So I'm going to make my F into an F6, which looks just like a D minor, and then I'm going to reach my little finger to the 4th fret to make an F major 7, and then back to the 2nd fret, the F6. So I've got these chords. Now because at that point what's moving is on the C string, two things could happen. One, my little up strum, if it doesn't quite come up far enough, you could not really hear that very much. In fact, you could miss it out entirely if you were only catching two strings. So I'm going to get my thumb to move over to make sure you can hear it, but also it's going to push it onto the and give a nice syncopated feel. So rather than it being on the beat like that, we're going to hear it on the and like this. Which has just got a little bit more of a syncopated bounce to it. So if I put them together, we get this. So try it on something you know. Maybe try C, A minor, F and G7, but instead of try this. And on that G7, I'm putting extra thumb notes in. Just to round off the progression. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.